And this is just... So as you read the title, this is about abusive relationships. I felt this video has been needed to be made for a long time, actually. And I've been putting this off for about a few weeks now, and finally here it is. I think I see this in the news about once every month or so, on a boyfriend or a husband beating his wife, leaving her in the hospital, or murdering his wife. I see this all the time where I live. Then again, I live in Arkansas, where it seems like everyone thinks it's appropriate to beat their wife and wear a wife beater. But I want to share a story with you guys. About a year ago or so, or close to that, I got with an ex of mine. We just got together. We met off of a dating app. So happens that she lived close by to me. We met. We started off really fast, in fact. We did a lot of stuff that couples usually wait months in to do. We did that within the first few days. Stuff went by really fast. Skip by about 2 months, 2-3 months ahead. We started getting a little bit serious. We were talking about moving in together, and keep in mind that she had currently had her own apartment at that time. She was talking about, hey, let's move in together and stuff. And I told her, I was like, hey, listen, I live with my dad currently, and it's be a lot cheaper to live there because she'd want me to pay half the rent and everything. And I didn't really want to go for that because I had everything I had here, and it's just, I felt like in that relationship that I felt like I had to give her every single second of my time, or else I felt like I was a bad boyfriend. So let me share with you guys something. Skip about two more months ahead, and we were starting to get really serious really fast. In fact, we started talking about living with each other and possibly marriage. Now, keep in mind, we were together for only a few months currently, and it was just going by super fast because it was going way too fast because we didn't really take the time to get to know each other. Like, we had sex all the time. We would do this or that all the time. We never really sat down and just had a full-blown conversation about life. And she has a kid, and her kid is now 3 years old. Me and her had a lot of arguments about her kid I'm not going to get into that. Except I will tell you that we got in a lot of arguments about parenting and etc., and that caused a lot of problems in our relationship. Now, here's where it started getting abusive. If rewind about a month back before this, so about 3 months in, I would go to her house and we would just sit and talk. Or maybe it was 4 months in. I don't remember. It's been a little while. I'd go to her house and stuff, and we'd just be cuddling up on the couch, and she'd always call me names for some reason. Like, she'd ask me to do something, and I'd ask where it is, or I'd say, hey, I don't know how to do this, and she'd get really mad really fast, and she'd call me a fucking idiot, or she'd call me retarded, and she would always say, well, baby, I'm joking, and I told her all the time, I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good. And eventually, I could start telling that she actually meant it. It started going downhill really fast. In fact, it was to the point where she would always say, and every time that she would get mad at me, she'd always like, fuck you, dude, I'm done. She would always act like she was a bigger person and everything, and it was very off-putting to me because whenever she was in my house, if I said anything that offended her whatsoever, she would say, hey, fuck you, dude, I'm out, I'm leaving. And I was fucking stupid enough, and this is how I was stupid. I was stupid enough to stay over and over and just kept going back to her and back to her and back to her. I'd keep going back to her, and she knew that I had no one else in person to go to that I would want to be with or anything else. And I feel like in the back of her head, she knew that. So, here's what happened. Just about every week we got in a new fight about something. She was very, very jealous about everything that I did, actually. In fact, around the time that Warped Tour was going to be happening this year, I was going to be going to the Dallas Warped Tour, although I never actually got to go. I was telling her I was ready to go to it, but I ended up going to... I went to the Dallas Warped Tour this year. I didn't get to go to the St. Louis Warped Tour. Around the time that I started talking to her about going to Warped Tour, she said to me, well, you're just going to go flirt with all your fans, and you're just going to be single for the week you go to Warped Tour. In fact, she was jealous about every single girl I even had in my phone or on Twitter or on Instagram or something. I couldn't comment on anyone's picture without her just being abusive towards me and saying, oh, well, you're just going to go flirt with them and just fuck you, dude. It was very abusive, and it may not have been physically abusive, but it was very mentally abusive. And sure, I had my say in a lot of things, and it was just, we yelled at each other all the time. We called each other names all the time. But the first month or two of her calling me names, I was nice about everything. I was trying to be as nice as I possibly can. And the reason I'm making this whole video, I've been in an abusive relationship. I'm not going into all the details, but I have been in an abusive relationship. I've been in several, actually, and they're not fucking nice. They're horrible. I literally almost got kicked out of my dad's home. She guilt-tripped me into doing this and this and that. Listen, it was to the point where I felt like she was going to get in my face and try to hit me. There were several times that actually had happened. And I want to say this out to everyone right now. If you are dating someone or have dated someone that has been abusive towards you, run the fuck away. If you are scared of getting out of that relationship, call the police. Wait till they're at work. Wait till they're gone. Call the police and explain the situation and get out of there. Get a restraining order. Do something. Listen, I don't give a shit who you are, what you've done in the past, who you've done in the past, or anything. Nobody deserves to be with somebody who is beating you, treating you like shit constantly. I am at fault for fucking up a lot when I was a kid. When I was 16, 17, I was making some bad fucking decisions in relationships. I was stupid. I didn't listen. I look back at myself and I kick myself in the ass all the time because of it. Let me tell you something. Nobody deserves to be beat by their boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever you're with. You know, and what really annoys me is the fact that people say, hey, oh, well, I'm a woman, so if I hit my boyfriend, it's because he deserves it thing. That doesn't fucking fly. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Don't hit your significant other. If you want to hit your significant other, get out. The reason that I got out of my relationship with the person that I was with was because it was getting really out of hand, and it was getting to the point where it was going to be starting to get physical, and I got out. Listen, I'm seeing YouTubers and I'm seeing people, people in general. I'm seeing people in general literally beating their exes or their girlfriend's boyfriend. I'm seeing all this stuff constantly, and everyone just is like, oh, well, maybe you haven't heard both sides. I was antagonized by my ex all the time. She always started stuff with me. It was always something. And I always would get these really bad thoughts because of the bad relationship I was going to. Okay, so I have this one friend who I messaged her and I was like, hey, can I please Skype you? Or phone call you because I'm going through a lot with my job and everything. And her boyfriend actually messages me out of nowhere saying, hey, you're not allowed to you didn't ask me to Skype my girlfriend. You didn't ask to call her. Don't ask to call her. It's weird. And all this other stuff. Like, he was such a dick to me. And, like, I was so suspicious about it. And then recently I find out more about it. And I'm shocked on it. But at the same time, I'm not shocked because people are fucking terrible now. I've made so many bad decisions in relationships. I've been in so many relationships. I've been in more relationships than a lot of people have that are 30 years old. I've been in so many relationships, and I can tell you one thing, that if you guys do not get along, if it feels like you just want to just beat the shit out of them because you just can't stand them, get out. You find someone else. There's billions of fucking people in the world. Find someone else. Long distance relationships, let me tell you something. Long distance relationships can work. About 3, 4, 5 months ago, I would have laughed at your face if you'd have told me long distance relationship can work. They can work, I promise you. So let me tell you something. To be honest, it's just, people have lost the tradition of dating now. Everything is jumping straight to sex. And I'm at fault with that. Everything is, nobody's really getting to know each other anymore. Everybody just wants to fuck each other. Nobody really wants to just, nobody wants to just get to know each other. Let me tell you something. No, you don't deserve it. If you're being called names by your boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever, get out. Guy, girl, whatever, get out. Doesn't matter what gender you are, what race you are, get out. Just get out if you can. Your voice deserves to be heard as well. And let me tell you something. If you are the victim of physical abuse by your partner, it is not your fault. It is not your fault. You don't owe them shit. Just get out. My best of wishes to you, and I hope anything you are currently going through subsides. Thank you for watching.